The big story this afternoon has been a decision by the UP government to waive registration fees on hybrid vehicles. We've seen the impact on OEMs, and of course the Maruti stock is zooming. Now, to understand what the impact is for these companies and of course India's largest car maker, I'm speaking exclusively with RC Bhargava, chairman of Maruti Suzuki. Very good afternoon, Bhargav-san. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on NDTV Profit. Let me begin by understanding your take on this decision by the UP government. I believe this is something which has been in the works but notified now.
Well, the basic question which we have to look at is that everybody in the country wants two things. One is that the pollution level, the greenhouse gases which create the global warming should be reduced, and we should meet our zero carbon credit. The second is that our dependence on foreign imported oil must be ended or at least minimized to the extent possible. And the policy of electric vehicles was brought in for both these objectives. But it has been realized that while electric vehicles are gradually getting into the customers' buying package, there are large amount of ICE, petrol and diesel vehicles which are being bought also. And they continue to pollute and they continue to consume oil. So if we want to achieve the objectives of reducing pollution and greenhouse gases and use of petrol, we must use other technologies in addition to electric vehicles to bring down the pollution from pure ICE vehicles. And the use of hybrid vehicles, the use of CNG, the use of biofuels are all means to do that. So I think the UP government has been, very proactive, very smart, and I think very commendable that they have realized that if the country is going to achieve its objectives of 70 and before that reducing imports, then it is necessary to encourage technologies other than only electric cars, because electric cars alone will not do the job. And that is the outcome of that realization is this policy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Mr. Bhargav, to understand, for Maruti, the Grand Vitara, of course, is the prime candidate, which becomes significantly cheaper. Our back of the envelope calculations about 2 lakhs, or the Invitico as well. What is the kind of impact you see for this in terms of making these models more affordable for people, more attractive?
Well, obviously the waiver of the registration tax makes the vehicles cheaper for the customer. This is a short-term impact, Tamanna. What we should also look at is that once other states and the center also understand the importance of encouraging other technologies, then there will be an incentive for all car makers, not only Maruti or Toyota, everybody to develop vehicles using alternative technologies instead of just using petrol and diesel. And that is really what I think policy should do. In conditions where all car makers are incentivized to move away from ICE vehicles and move into alternative technologies which are cleaner and which use less oil and which produce less global warming.
Yeah, no, agreed. Is there a hope, or are you optimistic, Mr. Bhargav, that more states will do this? Of course, if it happens in UP, it impacts the whole NCR region. Are there conversations on with other states or with the central government that such a waiver is extended in other states as well?
Well, I hope that petition comes about everywhere in the country, that it is necessary to encourage alternative technologies other than pure electric. We cannot achieve our objectives by only banking on electric cars. I think that realization, once that comes, then the policies will follow automatically.
But just to reiterate the point, are you in conversation with any states or the central government to have a more permanent sort of relief for customers to choose hybrid vehicles? Because today the fact is it costs me more if I want to go hybrid.
We have been saying this for a long time, that all technologies which are cleaner must be encouraged.
Okay.
This.
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying we're continuing to discuss this with the central government, with some of the state governments, that there is an alternative route than just pure electric to get to our goals, and that we must all look at what is practical and what will lead us of cleaner India faster.
In terms of the EV policy, the new EV policy which is awaited, Mr. Bhargav, now reports that there are conversations to look at domestic players. Policy which was focused on, global players coming in may be looking at, may be tweaked, or the conversations that maybe we should start looking at domestic players. Wanted your take on this? Because now that we know that Tesla is perhaps not coming in, we're not placing our bets on some of these players, and you already have large domestic players who are getting EV ready. Just wanted to get your view on this.
No, India has most of the leading car manufacturers from the world. All of them, I think, are going into electric vehicles. So it is not as if there is only one electric or two electric car makers in the world who matter. I think all these big companies are all capable of producing good electric cars. All of
Right. Okay. Now, Mr. Bhargav, I just want to get a sense that if you have a further policy push like what UP government has done, and watchers of this space are now saying that maybe this could be start of something that other states also do. Do you think it increases your focus on hybrid vehicles? Do you have an aim in mind to what would be the proportion of hybrid vehicles that Maruti would be selling at some point?
Certainly, if there is a much greater demand for hybrid vehicles generated by the reduction of prices caused by the registration tax or any other step which any state or the central government may take, it will increase our focus on electric vehicles, on hybrid vehicles, instead of having just 2 or 3 models of hybrid vehicles. And the companies will work at developing hybrid vehicles on a larger scale, more hybrid vehicles, maybe smaller and lower down the list of cars in terms of size, which can be hybridized, because cost is the major factor for customers to buy.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. So what is your plan in terms of more launches? There is, of course, 2 popular vehicles you have, but how many more in the pipeline?
Let's wait and see how the policy shapes up.
Okay.
What the center does and what the states do, we have yet to wait and see, isn't it?
Okay. And do you expect any immediate impact on sales numbers for these 2 models because of the UP move?
Certainly the sales in UP will go up.
Significantly, you think?
I think it's a significant reduction in price. 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs is not a small amount.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhargav, for speaking with us today. Thank you so much for your time. R.C. Bhargav, Chairman of Maruti Suzuki, talking about the very crucial move by the UP government to waive off registration fees, which comes to about 10% for vehicles above 10 lakh rupees. So there's a whole host of vehicles which will be impacted positively. Maruti, of course, one of them. But then, you're seeing the impact on the stock exactly because of that, because the expectation is that other states could follow what UP has done.